So it's official. The Mind Energy Shift app is complete and available in both the App Store and the Play Store. And in this video, I just kind of want to talk to you guys about the process that I went through to get the app completed and hopefully help somebody who may be thinking about creating an app for themselves or someone that's already in the process of creating an app and running into obstacles as you do. So that's what this video is about. It's kind of impromptu, no glitz, no glamour. So take it as it is. But first I want to say thank you to all of the content creators that have helped in this process, who have provided content. And I'm looking forward to continuing their relationship and building and providing more content for the app with you guys. And I really appreciate all your help. And I think we've created something that's great and it's going to help a lot of people. So, beginning of the process, about a year and a half ago, I started writing a book, actually, called Mind Energy Shift, which is available on Amazon. I'll link that in the description below. So Mind Energy Shift is a book about the process of mastering your senses and how your senses control every facet of your life. The things you take into your system, the things you take into your mouth, your ears, your eyes, your touch, all those things contribute to what type of life you're living, what type of life you're capable of living, where you've been, where you're going. So as you know, the Free Spur channel, this channel is about health, wealth, and freedom. And when I started this channel, I was really dedicated to providing a space for people to see my journey and see kind of the things that have helped me along the way in my life, to chart my own course and create a life for myself that I wanted to lead and that I wanted to live, whether that be from happiness or just learning. Being able to learn and grow every day is what makes me happy, actually. I like to be able to learn. I like to be able to grow. So that's what this channel has always been about. So in doing that, I started doing a lot of research on different methodologies to help myself kind of get to places that I wanted to be mentally quickly. And what I found was that there are a lot of things out there, and I think one of the easiest things for people to do and travesties is to kind of get sucked into things that aren't working, or things that aren't working for you. And that's the thing, like different things work for different people, and understanding that is a great part of understanding yourself. So in that, I wanted to make sure that we created something that will help people get to the point of clarity for themselves, and not just that catch-all, this is supposed to work for everybody kind of methodologies, because it doesn't work that way. Like one person's diet plan can be totally wrong for another person, because we're not all physically made up exactly the same. And I think one of the hard things about when people are offering products in that manner is that they do tend to wipe everything with a broad stroke brush, so that it's trying to speak to the same audience the same way, or speak to everybody individually in the same fashion. And the world just people don't work that way. People have nuances. People are different for a reason. People have different nuances in their lives for a reason. And we really wanted to create something that spoke to that, and just give people options to approach healing and approach wellness in their own way. So to speak to that, basically what we've done is the Mind Energy Shift app. It approaches wellness from multiple different angles. One of the main things is the energy shift, which is something that we kind of developed that is proprietary to the Mind Energy Shift app, whereas you are able to feel your energy through the app and navigate your energy and point your energy in a place and in a way that enables you to shift your perspective immediately. And that's something that is very important, being able to kind of get to a place that you want to get to in a quick fashion, because that was another thing that I noticed is that a lot of things take too much time. I think when people need help, they need it quickly, and people need to be able to, kind of get those answers and get questions answered quickly, without a lot of red tape. And I think, that's one of the what I like about what we've done is, created a space that we can provide quick solutions for real problems, whether it be, kind words from someone that you don't know. That's an important part of life. Like a lot of times, just hearing someone else talk about their journey, or hearing someone else say something positive can change the outcome of your day, and sometimes even your life. A lot of people don't realize that one kind word from a stranger sometimes can change the course of your entire life, because words are that powerful. And so that was on the onset what we wanted to create. Now getting there was the challenge. So like I said, initially I wrote a book, Mastering Mind Energy Shift, and I wanted to create a vessel for that information to live. So I started doing a lot of research on building mobile apps, and there's a lot out there as far as ways to build mobile apps now. And just to preface this with the right information, I do have an application or a coding background, and I also have a web design background. So having those skill sets did mean a lot in this process, but there was still a huge learning curve because of the mobile space and what you have to do to kind of get into that space. So having said that, so at the start, a lot of research was done about the different ways to build mobile apps. And one of the key things that I really learned was that a lot of the apps are moving away from the traditional way of building apps, like Xcode for Apple, and the Google platform. So a lot of the apps are moving to hybrid apps, which are a mixture of a proprietary code base with web applications. So that was a real helpful thing in one aspect, but also in another aspect, it also hindered a lot of things because there's just a lot of information and a lot of different ways that you can build apps for that reason. So one of the pitfalls, one of the main things that I'll just get to the point that kind of tripped us up in this process is we wanted to build everything around a subscription base so that people could get subscriptions to the app for the more premium offerings that we offer. Now the app is free. We wanted to definitely make this a free app for people for everybody, because I think that's another thing that I found, that a lot of the great apps out there, they cost, and sometimes people can't or even don't want to pony up the money for that help that they need. But so we wanted to make at least the core offerings of our app free, so that people who need the app can get the app and still participate. And if they want to go to the next tier, which provides more learning type courses and more virtual environments and things like that, if they want to go to that level, which is great, it's phenomenal, then you have that choice too. But on this onset, the app is free. So if you're someone that needs that help, don't think you can't get it from our app because it's going to cost you. No, it's free. So having said that, building on a subscription model, one of the things that tripped us up right at the end is that we initially built our subscription model on our own platform, which Android is fine with. The problem is Apple. Apple is very strict about how your app is receiving payments. So you have to build your app with in-app purchases. which at the end of the day makes sense, and it actually works out to be in your favor because you don't have to manage members and all of those things, which is what we were doing on the onset. We were building a subscription model where we had to manage a lot of membership and on our side, and really do a lot of the legwork that way for members, which is a good and bad thing. You do control the metrics that way, but it's better. It's better. The way it ended up turning out with doing the in-app purchases is better. It's better for the consumer, and it's better for the creator. So, or better for us on our side. But if you don't know that going in when you're building your app, it's problematic because you can develop your whole app, which is what we did, which is what I did, develop the whole app around other third-party systems that you then have to change at the last minute when you're submitting your app to the App Store, which is a headache because on one, it's costing you a lot more money, and two, it's costing you time if you're already ready to launch, which is what just happened. But learning curve, and that's why I'm giving you this information, giving you guys this information. If you're building an app, make sure that you're understanding if you're going to do subscriptions or any kind of your payment systems. For Apple, they have to go through in-app purchase. They have to. It's just the way they do it. There's no way around it. There's no way to circumvent the system. It has to go through in-app purchases, which is, at the end of the day, you end up doing it for both Android and Apple. So it saves you a lot of headache down the line because both platforms are going through the same payment system. Anyway, so that was one thing. And the other thing was just the learning curve of developing in the different softwares or different platforms. Like I said, I have a web background and I've been coding for years. So I do have that. And I think, even if you aren't a coder, there are a lot of third-party platforms that will, build the apps for you without doing any coding. So you can use those to your advantage. But what comes into play is how you're going to manage your app at the end of the day. That's the real issue when you're using those third-party platforms is how are you going to manage your app? How are you going to deliver your content? Is your content going to be evergreen? Is it going to be static? Or are you going to have dynamic content? And I think you have to really answer those questions early on when you're building your app so that you're not getting to a point where, again, you have to think about that stuff right before you get ready to launch or you get ready to, publish to the different stores. So I would advise really thinking about if you want to focus on an area of knowledge, really understand how you're going to deliver your content via your app, and also what payment systems, how you're going to handle your payment systems and all of that, what those things are going to look like. So the other part of it is more philosophical. It's really important for you to, on the onset, iron out how everything is going to flow for your app. Like what are the methodologies that you're trying to deliver? Let me back up for a second. This really depends on what type of app you are launching. Like in our instance, this is a wellness app. So I'm speaking from that space when I'm talking about this. You can apply this to any app that you're building, but just understand that when I'm speaking about this, I'm speaking about it from the perspective of building a wellness app. So in terms of that, it was really important for me to iron out the flow of information and kind of what value that I wanted to provide or that we wanted to provide for the end user and what methodology. And a lot of it revolved around just the experiments that I did myself. So a lot of the content that I created on this YouTube channel was really like a precursor to what I wanted to do with the app, which, again, it was a good thing in the process of the app, but it also, just as a content creator, it was hard because there were opportunities where I could have really grown my YouTube channel, where I chose not to grow my YouTube channel to actually work on the app and spend more of my time there, because I really wanted to solidify the completion of this app before I continue with my YouTube journey. So having done that, I'm very excited to sit here with you today and tell you about this process. I hope this video has been a help to you, and we'll see you in the next one.